Okay, welcome all. In this lecture, we are going to demonstrate how two networks can communicate with each other using a single router. So for this demonstration, I selected router 1941. Now, two switches for the local area networks, two PC in first network and two PC in second network. As we know that router is used to connect two different networks. So we have taken network address for this network is 192.168.10.0. Network address for this network is 172.16.0.0. Now start providing IP address. So for this complete network, I will provide IP with the graphical user interface, and for this I will follow the command line. So for PC1 desktop IP configuration 192.168.10.2. Now there is a field default gateway. So first understand what is a default gateway. In the default gateway, we need to put the IP address of that interface, which interface connecting your network to outside network. So for this particular network, interface gigabyte ethernet 0/0 connecting this whole network to the other network. So whatever IP we will provide on this interface, it will be provided in the default gateway field of PC. So I will provide always first valid IP of the block to my default gateway 192.168.10.1. Done. Come on the PC2 desktop IP configuration 192.168.10.3. Again the default gateway 192.168.10.1. All network devices which belongs to that network having same default gateway. Why? Because if PC0 want to send anything, he must send to the interface gigabyte ethernet 0/0. If PC1 want to send anything, he also have to send gigabyte ethernet 0/0. So if any traffic from this network to go out must pass from the interface gigabyte ethernet 0/0. Now come and provide IP address on the router. For providing IP address, click on the router, click on the config tab. In the config tab, we need to select the names. So name is gigabyte ethernet 0/0. Click on this, provide the IP address 10.1, which is the default gateway IP, and don't forget to switch it on. Now switch it on. This particular network configuration is done. Now this is another network. We need to configure this also. Click on the desktop, provide the IP address 172.16.0.2. Subnet mask default gateway. I said I always provide first valid IP of that block. You can choose any IP, but you need to remember that you have provided which IP on the default gateway. Now IP addressing done for the PC2. Click on PC3 desktop IP configuration 3, and all the devices having same default gateway, so default gateway same. Now come on this particular interface. So I already explained you the CLI of the router. So you need to provide IP address to this interface with the help of command line. To click on the router, go on the CLI. Okay, for providing IP address, you need to come into the global configuration mode, and you are already into the configuration interface configuration mode. So I tell you the command exit, which is used for going back to the previous configuration. Now we are into the global configuration mode. and we want to provide IP to this interface. So first we need to provide information of interface. So remember, step 1, go into the global configuration mode. Step 2, select the interface. Interface G, so G stand for Gigabyte Ethernet 0/1. Now we come into the interface configuration mode and we want to configure which interface? Interface G0/1, this interface. Now for providing IP address you have to write IP address. Now which IP address you want to provide? 172.16.0.1. Now what is the subnet mask? It is a B class. So 255.255.0.0. Now put enter. Now IP address is provided on the router, but this is still red. It shows the port is still in the switch off state. In the switch off state, you need to switch it on. You need to switch it on. For switching it on, what you need to perform? You need to perform command no shut. No shut. Put enter. Now you can see when I put the command no shut, it turned into the green. Now complete IP addressing is done for this network and for this network. Now I want to check what IP addresses I provided on my interface. So what I need to run? I need to run show command, and as you know that all the show command belongs to which mode? Privileged mode. So go back to the privileged mode. Now we are in the privileged mode and what we want to see? Interface information. So show IP interface brief. Now you can check we having two interface Gigabyte Ethernet 0/0 IP addresses performed and all the things are okay. Gigabyte Ethernet 0/1 IP address 172.16.0.1 is performed. You can check 0/1 belongs to this network, so it belongs to this network IP, and 192.168.10.1 belongs to this network, so IP address belongs to the this network. Okay, now come for the communication. Now go into the simulation mode of or real-time mode. Simulation mode. PC0 want to send any information to PC2. As we know that when PC is not aware about the next hoop, it will create a ARP packet to getting the information about next hoop MAC address. So now ARP translation. Now router MAC address is arrived. ICMP packet is, but this router don't have the information about the destination. So what it will did? It rejected and created one ARP packet to get the MAC address of destination. Okay. Now you can check the transaction is failed. So always remember, first time the transaction is always failed due to the ARP translation. Why the first time transaction is failed? Due to the ARP translation. Now for future, whenever they will communicate, they can communicate easily. Remember one thing, when we have a single router and all the available networks are connected through the single router, no routing algorithm is required. No routing algorithm is required. Why? Router is already aware about connected network. So how you can see routing table? Show IP route is the command to check the routing table information. Now you can check this particular router is connected one network 172.16.0.0 And how it is connected? It is connected directly. It is connected directly. And another network is 192.168.10.0. And how it is connected? It is also connected directly. So always remember, when we have one router for the communication, what we need default gateway information. If you put default wrong default gateway, you cannot able to communicate. So must check. If you will getting any error in this scenario, must go and check the settings for the default gateway. Go on the PC, verify what default gateway you have provided. In the next step, go and check that okay, suppose that interface gigabyte ethernet 0/0. So check, okay, gigabyte ethernet /0/0 belongs to the same default gateway address. So always remember, first time transaction is failed due to the ARP translation. Thank you. If any question, put your question in the comment box.